Today we are making a double batch of jalapeno and cheddar sourdough loaves. To our bowl, we will put 200 grams of active sourdough starter and 700 grams of filtered water. You want to mix these two together until you don't have huge clumps of starter left over on your bowl. You can see my starter floating in the water, and that's a great sign indicating that your starter is ready and very active. Now you will add 1000 grams of flour and 20 grams of salt to your bowl, and you want to mix everything together until you don't have any pockets of flour left over. I like to use a spatula to mix everything together. This spatula helps me clean my bowl as I'm mixing the ingredients together. That way I have a clean bowl and it helps with the dough not sticking to the bowl too much once it's done bulk fermenting. I also like to use a plastic bench scraper to clean the bowl even further because sometimes the spatula isn't enough, especially when it's a lot of dough. So I just go ahead and clean the bowl and I scrape it into the dough. That way we don't waste any of the dough. So if this is too sticky for you, this process right here, you can wet your plastic bench scraper and that'll help it clean the bowl even further. So after 30 minutes, I have my shredded cheese and my jalapenos. And I do add some serrano peppers to this as well to give it a little bit more of a kick to it. I put the inclusions in between each stretch going around the bowl, and I do have 100 grams of jalapeños and serranos together and 100 grams of sharp cheddar cheese. I do buy the block cheese and I do shred it myself. I do go ahead and put all of the ingredients into the dough, and then I do have another 100 grams of the peppers and 100 grams of the cheese to the side because I will be adding some when I laminate this dough at the end. I wanted to try something new to see if maybe putting half during the stretch and folds and half during the lamination will give me a better result or just a different result. This is the first time that I did this, so I was pretty excited. So I do 100 grams of jalapenos and 100 grams of cheese per loaf because I feel like it gives me the best result. That way each slice has a little bit of both. After I stretch the dough and I have a little bit of the inclusions left, I kind of like to do some slap and folds, very gentle, but still building some strength to the dough. And once I feel like the dough is pulling back a little bit, I do put the rest of the inclusions right on top. That way, when I do the second set of stretch and folds, I have those inclusions on the top of the dough. That way there's inclusions everywhere, on the top, on the bottom, everywhere. So after 30 minutes, you will do your second set, and all I'm going to do is stretch the dough, fold it over, going around the bowl, and then I go ahead and do a few more slap and folds. This is a lot of dough, so you might have to do a few extra stretches or a few more slap and folds to get the dough nice and smooth the way that we like it. That way it gets nice and strong and we have a clean dough dump at the end of the bulk fermentation. This is the third set right here, and now I am going to do coil folds. The coil folds are going to be very gentle on the dough but still building some gluten strength. I do prefer to do coil folds on the third and fourth set because if the dough is already rising or getting strong, I don't want to tear the dough or anything, so I just like to do some coil folds or slap and folds, but being very gentle. So after the 30 minutes, we will do the last set, and again, coil folds. You can see that the dough is getting nice and smooth, and you can see inclusions throughout the dough. This is what we like to see, and then we will add more during the lamination process. now that my dough is done bulk fermenting, you can see that it didn't stick to the plastic wrap. I mean, it did, but it came off easily. So that's a very good sign. It was nice and jiggly. There was bubbles everywhere and it came off of the bowl very, very nicely. So now I will split this dough in half and I will weigh the dough to make sure that they weigh the same. I did actually gift two of these loaves, and the large one, which is this one right here, I did gift it, so I didn't do a crumb shot at the end. So now I am laminating the dough very gently, just pulling it apart a little bit, trying to stretch it, and I am going to add another 100 grams of the jalapeños and serranos and another 100 grams of the cheddar cheese. So you can see these little slices. I like to slice the serranos like that because I feel like they look so pretty, and if you get a good bite of that pepper, it'll give everybody a good kick and it'll be worth their money. Just kidding, but you know, I like the peppers like that. And then the jalapeños, I like to chop them up smaller because I feel like I can distribute them throughout the loaf a little bit better, and usually the jalapenos are a bit bigger as well, so it's just better in my opinion. So I put a little bit of the cheese and peppers there, and then I fold it over, and then I continue putting more of the inclusions on every single like section. I did see this on a TikTok video. I will link the person, I forget her name, but she does amazing TikTok videos, and this is how she shapes and puts the inclusions on her loaves when she laminates her dough. And I just wanted to try it out, so that's why I did a little bit of both, because I do enjoy putting the inclusions in the stretch and folds and I feel like I get the best results, but I wanted to add it like this as well just to see what happened. And here I'm just going to shape the dough very, very gently and put it into the banneton. So for the other half of the dough, I did actually split that one in half because I wanted to make two half loaves, and I ended up gifting one of them. So at the end, you will see that I didn't show the loaf pan shaped one because as soon as it came out of the oven, it just flew out of my house and they took it with them. So you don't see that at the end, but I guess that's a very good sign that these loaves are really delicious, and you guys should definitely try making them because this is one of our favorites. And anyone who asks for a loaf from me, always, it's literally 99% of the time, it's a jalapeno and cheddar loaf. Now I am going to laminate the two half of the doughs, and I will do the exact same thing as I did on the first loaf. So just putting the inclusions right in the middle, folding it up from the bottom up, I guess, and then putting inclusions, and then folding one side over, putting more inclusions, folding the other side on top of that one, and then rolling it up after adding more inclusions there as well. So I did this for all three, and then I put them into the banneton for a cold proof. And it's been so hot where I live, so I left this dough to cold proof even longer than I usually do. And I realized that the large loaf overproofed a little bit, so it came out a little bit on the flat side, and it didn't really score as deep or as well as I usually like it to be, but it was perfect. I got pictures of the crumb, and the person who got the loaf was so excited because she lives like 3 or 4 hours away from me. And I've known her for so long, and she finally came into town and she last minute told me if I can make her one. And I did. And she messaged me literally today and she's like, "Oh my God, it's so good. I need more." So next time she comes, she's going to get more, and hopefully I can give her a properly proofed loaf because this one was overproofed a little bit. But I would prefer an overproofed loaf over an underproofed loaf. So I went ahead and put these into the refrigerator for a cold proof, and then in the morning I preheated my oven to 450 degrees with my Dutch ovens inside. And then for one, I did do the loaf pan method, which is just putting the dough into a loaf pan and putting a second loaf pan on top to act as a lid. And that one, this one right here, is the one that I gifted away, so you guys will not see this one at the end. And since I did notice that this dough was a little bit overproofed, I just did one score down the middle just to keep it simple. And then I baked these loaves for 25 minutes with the Dutch oven lid on and 15 minutes with the Dutch oven lid off, still at 450 degrees. And this is the end result. Look at how beautiful this loaf came out to be. The bottom is not burnt at all. And this is one of the half loaves. I will cut into this one so you guys can see the crumb shot, but look at how perfect. It was a nice and hollow on the inside, and it was super light and airy. And I was actually able to tell the difference of the loaf, of the crumb, of how I added the inclusions. So you can see here the little streaks of cheese. That's where I added the inclusions in the lamination stage. And then you see the other little pieces all throughout. That's when I added it in the stretch and fold process. I think it came out perfect. So thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in my next one.